you go. Good boy. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Today we are going to be choosing my August TBR. This month we are going to be using my trusty little TBR jars. This one looks a little bit different, but it's the exact same prompts. I just changed the jar because I didn't know what to do with this jar and I like this jar, so we're going to be using this one. This used to be Hachi's street jar. It is basically just full of regular prompts that I'm going to pick from, and then this jar right here is full of a bunch of books that have been on my TBR the longest, which now that I'm thinking about it, there's probably going to be some in here that I have recently unhauled. What I like to do is pick one from this jar and have one of my books that have been on my TBR the longest on our TBR this month, and then I'll pick either 5 or 6 prompts from this jar. I think we're gonna kind of just like feel it out this month and see what types of prompts we get, what kind of books we pick, and if I feel good, we'll pick 6, and then if I feel like we just need to stop at 5, we'll stop at 5. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start picking your first prompts. So I always like to start with this one because this one makes me the most nervous. Yeah, so I've recently unhauled a lot of books, and some of these are probably gonna be in there. So let's see what the first one is. I'm not gonna look. I don't think you can read that. I can't read that. Powerless? I already read this book. Wait a minute, why is that in there? Never mind, I already read Powerless. This is Powerless by Elsie Silver. So I already read that one. That was easy. This one. What is that? We Hunt. I have been waiting to pick this one. We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. Let me grab it. This is super exciting actually, because I've been back and forth about unhauling this book or not, and that's exciting. Okay, so We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. This is like one of the first books that I ever bought at like one of my first adult Barnes & Noble book haul trips or book trips. And yeah, so I bought this when I was like really starting to get into reading again, like pretty consistently. And I read A Tempest of Tea by her, which is this book, and I really enjoyed this one, like a lot. I really liked this book, so it's making me even more keen on picking this one up. So I've just been kind of like waiting to pick this out of the jar, to be honest, to pick this one up. And this is a YA fantasy. A YA romantasy is like what I've gathered, and I think it's a duology. And like I said, I've been back and forth about unhauling this or not because it's been on my shelf for well over 2.5 years, and I just haven't picked it up for whatever reason. I think it's because it's a YA that I'm just like a little nervous, because YAs are hit or miss for me. I'm very excited about this one. This one I can pretty much guarantee that I'm for sure going to be reading this month. I always try to prioritize my picks that come from that jar because I'm picking them for a reason. I want to get them off my shelf and figure out if I'm gonna like them or not. So that one was exciting. Yay. So that's the first book of August. All right, so we have our first pick. Now we can jump into the regular prompt jar, which is just full of a bunch of just random prompts that I have either heard from like other booktubers who are using them, or I've just like kind of like randomly come up with, or ones that I thought sounded cool. So I'll pick 5 to start, and we'll see how we're feeling. All right, so I haven't seen it yet. It seems like it's already been opened, so I don't know. A Fitzcarraldo edition. Do I even have any? I do. All right, a Fitzcarraldo edition. These, if you guys don't know, are these little blue books right here. These are literary fiction books that basically are picked up, or not picked up by this publisher, but are published in these blue editions. And I honestly just really like the look of them, is why I first got into them. And now I'm just kind of like picking them up as I see them. So I have 2 right now on my shelf. I have Paradise and Minor Detail. I don't remember what these are about, so I'm gonna read them really quickly and then I'll pick. So I think I'm gonna go with Paradise. Basically, it sounds like it is about 2 misfit teenagers who sneak around a like super luxury style apartment complex and a drink. Let's see. It's basically like a character study between these two characters and like what they go through. There's some romance in here, kind of like a thrilling prose is what it's saying. It says, explores the explosive fragility of Mexican society, fractured by issues of race, class, and violence, and how the myths, desires, and hardships of teenagers can tear life apart at the seams. So this is like a character study of teenagers, so that's interesting, and it also kind of takes a look, I guess, at the Mexican culture and how it is growing up there, so it'll be interesting to read about. I guess Paradise is going to be our second book on our TBR this month. All right, let's pick another one. Look at her shake these up really good. So I want to, there's so many in here and I keep picking like the same one over and over again and it's kind of bothering me. All right, this one feels like it has not been opened yet. BookTok Books Direct. Okay, what a perfect prompt. I have so many. And I already have a couple books on my TBR, like my mental TBR for August that I know I want to get to that are Books Directs or like books that I found on Booksta. But I don't want to put them on here because I've already put them on my like July and June TBR. So I'm gonna, I know the perfect one. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. A Dance of Lies by Brittany Arena. This book is so pretty. And if you watched my book shopping video, I bought this in that video from Book People in Austin, and I'm very excited to read this book because I've seen so many people read it and absolutely love it, and I mainly have been seeing it on my Bookstagram. So this is gonna be our third book on our TBR, and I am absolutely so excited to get to this one. Seems like it's about maybe a dancer who is hired by the king. Vasily Moran was once a dancer in King Ilian's court until he framed her for murder. Barely surviving her 2 years in the dungeons, she's suddenly called to face her king. He offers her a deal, become his spy at the 6-week royal gathering, and he'll grant her freedom. Obviously it's a romantasy, so there's some type of romance in here somewhere. I just think it's so interesting that she's a dancer or like a ballerina in the court, and then she has to go through like staying in the dungeon. I don't know. I'm excited because a lot of my friends have really loved this. A Dance of Lives by Brittany Arena is going to be our third book on the TBR. We always get like these color schemes, and this week it is blue. Like all of these are kind of bluish, purplish. All right, so we're gonna pick, what, 3 more. I always am so excited to do this video every month because it's just so fun. All right, this one also feels like it might have been picked before. A green cover. We pick this every single time. I could have used that one too. Okay, I don't hate it. A green cover. Let's see. All right, I know which one it's gonna be. Yeah, all right, let me grab it. I lied, actually. I have 2 choices that are like on the forefront of my mind. And I've talked about these recently. I think it was in my July TBR video. And that is Blood and Betrayals by Jeanette Rose and Alexis Rune. And then The Lies of Mortals by Mallory Weber. Both of these obviously have green covers, or like green on the cover, which to me that counts. And both of these I do want to get to soon. Like I was planning on reading these in July, but they are both kind of chunky and I am excited to get to them, but I have also heard mixed reviews of each of them. So it's kind of just making me honestly have like decision paralysis, if you guys have ever heard of that before. I can't decide. But honestly, like this is the one that I've been thinking about more than this one. So I would love to honestly put both of them on my TBR, but I think I'm just gonna put this one on here because honestly I might pick this one up next. Like I was already kind of thinking about picking it up anyways, so I'm gonna put Blood and Betrayals on our TBR for August because I think I'm gonna read it anyways. This, like, I don't know if y'all are gonna be able to tell, but the words are so small, and this is a big book. This is bigger than my head, and it is 680 something pages. So it's also a little intimidating, but I think if I can get into it, like if I'm into the story and into the drama and stuff, I'm gonna fly through it. So this is an academy setting romantasy, but it's got like stalker trope in it, which is something that I'm not super sure about. Like, I don't know if I will be down for that because I'm paranoid in real life in general. I don't know. I'm just intrigued. So yeah, we're gonna find out together if this is a book for me or not. But either way, I am excited to dive in and kind of see what it's all about. That is the 4th book on our TBR. The Lies of Mortals. I do still really want to read this. So if I can like fit it in August, I'm definitely going to, but I know that I'm gonna read this like by the end of this year, 100%. We've got 2 more to choose. I just want to read all my books right now, so this is always hard. All right. It says, first book you see on Instagram. Oh, this one's fun. First book I see on Instagram. Let's see. I'm gonna pull my phone so you guys can see. Are we gonna do it based off cover? Let's do it based off of, it can be anything. The first book cover I see, or first book like quote or anything, really, anything. All right, so we'll just scroll. I don't know what that is, but oh, Silver Cloak. I definitely really want to read this, but I don't have it on my TBR, and I don't actually know when it comes out. I think it comes out in August, but I don't have my physical TBR, so we're gonna skip that one. But you said I don't have that one. And Sword, I know what I got those. I don't have those. Let's take a look at Let's see. Let's go. Your comment, or can I have that? Okay, we're just scrolling. Before we answer all looking at one, no. What's this? Oh, wait. Oh no. What is it? I don't know. Where's it going? This is my strength. I want to see it. Oh, this. Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't have the thing there. It must be like a, oh. Does this count? A mashup? I've got 1, 2. I've got 5 of these books on my TBR. Let's see. I've got Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, which I don't think I'm ready for that book yet. Oh, wait. I've got The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy on my TBR. I have, obviously, The Lord of the Rings, The Dead Romantics, which could be a good one, and then Blood Over Brighthaven, which I've been really excited to read that one because I've seen a lot of people really like that recently. And then a George Orwell book. So it's kind of like a lot of options. I have The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, Blood Over Brighthaven, Dead Romantics, which could be fun. Should I put that on there, The Dead Romantics? Because Blood Over Brighthaven seems kind of more like a fall time read to me. And we already have like an academic setting, and we already have 3 fantasies on here. So this is such a random TBR because I haven't been thinking about this one at all either. But you know what? I love Ashley Poston. She just came out with that new book that I don't have yet because I wanted to read this first. And I haven't read a good romance book in a while. And I always love hers. She always has like a little bit of magical realism. And that's really like one of my favorite things is when you have like a real life like story, but then you get a little bit of like, ooh, like a little bit of magic, a little bit of fantasy in there. It just makes it like really interesting and immersive in my opinion. So I don't know anything about this book. This is gonna be her book. So let me read the back of it. Romance is dead, but this isn't what she had in mind. Florence Day is the ghostwriter for one of the most prolific romance authors in the industry, and she has a problem. After a terrible breakup, she no longer believes in love. It's as good as dead. When her new editor, a too handsome mountain of a man, won't give her an extension of her book deadline, Florence prepares to kiss her career goodbye, but then she gets a phone call she never wanted to receive, and she must return home for the first time in a decade to help her family bury her beloved father. Oh, that's sad. For 10 years, she's run from the town that never understood her, and even though she misses the sound of a warm southern night and her eccentric, loving family in their funeral parlor, she can't bring herself to stay. Her father's gone, and yet everything else feels the same, and she hates it. Until she finds a ghost standing at the funeral parlor's front door, just as broad and infuriatingly handsome as ever, and he's just as confused about why he's there as she is. Romance is most certainly dead, but so is her new editor, and his unfinished business will have her second-guessing everything she's ever known about love stories. How is that gonna work? How is that gonna work if she falls in love with a ghost? I'm intrigued. All right, I'm excited about this one. This is gonna be a good one, I think. And I just love Miss Ashley Poston. She always just makes my little heart happy. I have read The 7-Year Slip and a novel love story by her. So I went ahead and bought this one because I'm trying to like read her backlist. And then after that one, I'll probably read the new one that just came out. Something about music. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have one more. And I think we might pick 6 because I've got a couple short little books on there. All right, we've got this one. I don't know, this one's kind of chunky. Have I picked this before? A book you haven't stopped thinking about since buying. A book I haven't stopped thinking about since buying. So many. I have so many books. And actually I'm reading the one that first comes in my mind, which is The Sirens by Amelia Hart, which I'm loving so far. Let's think about this one. Honestly, I've got a pretty good one in mind. All right, I think I know what I'm gonna get. This is the book that I have not stopped thinking about since I bought it because I loved the first one. So this is A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen. If you're new to my channel, you don't know, but Danielle L. Jensen is like one of my favorite authors, like Adobe author. I absolutely love The Bridge Kingdom. As you can see it up here, I've got both editions of it. And I'm real sad that I missed out on the hardcover of The Bridge Kingdom, like original covers, but it's okay. So anyway, so this is the second book and final book, I believe, in this duology. This is a Viking-inspired romantasy duology, and basically, I read the first one whenever it came out. I guess it was a year ago or longer, I can't remember. I don't remember a whole lot like from that book. I do remember the premise that it's this Viking princess who is forced or is seemingly forced to marry this like person that she does not like. We don't like either. And she ends up falling in love with like a son, like a young Viking warrior who maybe is the son of the person that she's supposed to marry, I think. They're both very snarky and there's a lot of like really fun banter and stuff. She's just badass. I love her. And so I'm excited to get into this one. And I don't really know why I haven't picked it up yet. Maybe I'm just scared because this is the last book by Danielle L. Jensen that I have right now on my TBR, and I don't like not having anything from her to read. So yeah, this is gonna be the next book that we put in our TBR. We're just gonna pick another one because this is way too much fun. Now, I usually only read 8 to 12-ish books, and I've been kind of reading a little bit slower than normal because I just started a new job and I am back to full-time. So I'm not a part-time princess anymore. I have to work full-time, which is fine, but I just have a little bit less time to read and honestly like less energy to read on my days off because I'm a nurse, so I work like really long shifts, and so when I have a couple days off, most of the time I'm just catching up on chores, going to the grocery store, going to the gym, or like just like resting my brain. So I haven't been reading as much as I was able to like beginning of this year. I'm just saying that because I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to all of these, but there's never any pressure because I'm just gonna read whatever I feel like in the moment anyways. But these TBRs are mainly to like put something in the forefront of my mind to like prioritize when I'm picking those books. So anyways, this is the last prompt, which is really short and small. A cover by. Oh, all of my books are cover buys. Honestly, I could have picked this one for that because 100% a cover buy. I already know kind of like what oh, no. I know exactly what this is gonna be. I don't think very hard about these prompts. I just kind of like pick. For a cover buy prompt, I'm gonna pick The Hidden Magic of Ordinary Things by Olivia Mikoloff. I mean, I don't really need to explain why I bought this as a cover buy because this is beautiful. And this cover is why I looked at it and why I was interested in reading the back of it. And I got this from Instagram actually, and I saw the cover pop up and like, oh, that's cute. Let me look into it. Anything that's green, purple, yellow, blues, like all that, my eyes immediately drawn to. And from my understanding, this is a cozy romantasy book. I'll read a little bit of it. It says, Mira has given everything to protect her village, her magic, her strength, her future, but it's still not enough. Since the founding of Glenmere, Mira's family has maintained the magical wards that keep the valley safe. The work was never meant to be done alone. Each pair of ward crafters was bonded by love and magic, their power intertwined. But after losing her parents, the responsibility became hers alone. Now her magic is wearing thin, her body is breaking down, and the charm shop she built from nothing, the one piece of her life that's truly hers, is slipping through her fingers. When she collapsed at her best friend's wedding, the village council finally intervenes. Find a magical partner to share the burden or step aside. Panicked, Mira claims she's already being courted by Calder, the forest fae who appeared the same week everything fell apart and who's been quietly holding her life together ever since. I'm gonna stop reading because I don't want to read anymore because this sounds so good. It's very short. which makes it even better because I know I'll be able to read it in one sitting. And those are my favorite, just to like sit down and devour it. And gosh, I'm just excited. I don't have anything else to say. I'm just very excited to read this book. So this was already like kind of on my mental TBR anyways, to read soon. So yeah, we've got a good little TBR this month. It's kind of random, but I love it. Our blue theme went away completely, but it's fine. We've got A Dance of Lives, We Hunt the Flame, Paradise, Blood and Betrayals, The Dead Romantics, A Curse Carved in Bone, and The Hidden Magic of Ordinary Things for our TBR this month. And I couldn't be more excited about this. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I really appreciate y'all. And I hope that you've had a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend. So I will see you guys next Saturday for the next video. Bye guys.